So now that we have our pages designed, what we're going to do is we're going to get to the fun part. We're going to actually make this live on a real page so that you can start getting leads for your restaurant business. What we're going to do here is we are going to go to Rustic House's account. Then we're going to go into marketing. Sorry, we're actually going to go into sites. Okay. And the one thing you want to do here is you want to create a brand new funnel. And you want to start from blank because we already know what our design is going to look like. We're just going to need to actually put it on a real page. Now, don't get intimidated. You'll have me step by step, and I'll show you how easy it is to actually put this on a page using the editor. So for this one, we're just going to put default funnel, and I'll show you why. The whole concept I'm trying to create is to have you do things once and be super, super efficient, where you can duplicate the things that you do once and turn it into all the different pages that you need. One email that turns into all the different emails you need just by making small changes here and there or by changing the copy. Remember, foundationally, in the first couple of lessons in this course, we did everything already. We did our targeting, selecting our audience. We did our copywriting. We branded our offer. We turned that offer into on-ramp, which is all the copywriting for our pages. We decided on all of our on our designs already. And what we're going to do is we're going to create one design, which is going to apply to all the copy for all the pages now. Okay. So in this default funnel, we're going to go inside and we're going to go ahead and add a new step. The name for this page, we're going to go ahead and name it opt-in, and the path is going to be opt-in as well. When it says import from ClickFunnels, go ahead and leave that blank, then go ahead and create funnel step. In this, it's going to ask you to use existing or create from blank. We're going to go ahead and create it from blank. And just to make this super, super easy, we're going to put our screen side by side. So I'm going to drag this tab. I'm going to make it a half screen. I'm going to make Canva a half screen as well. Go ahead and skip this over, get this out of here, make sure I can see this whole landing page over here. Okay. And the landing page we're going to create is this whole section right here. Okay. Where it's heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, paragraph, three buttons and a couple of links, along with this background photo and this background overlay. Okay. So usually what I like to do is I like to start from the big things first. So the background and the overlay, and then start going heading by heading, button by button, link by link, top to bottom. We're not going to put the colors in here because we don't need the colors on the page. We do need the logos. Before we go into the logos, we're going to go ahead and put the background and this overlay first. So in order to do that, go ahead and go to settings and then go to, you can't see here, but it says background. Click on background. And then BG image for the image URL. If you don't have it in here already, go ahead and upload the file. So you can click on the top right, click on upload file, go inside your pictures, and then upload a file that's in here. So this one is, for example, if I go to Rustic House, content management, and then I go ahead and find that lobster roll picture, which is over here, lobster roll. Okay, I already have it in, so I'm not going to do it, but just go ahead and click on open and it will start uploading the file. Once it's in there, go ahead and select it and you can just double click it and it'll insert the image. Okay. Now, one thing you want to do is I'm going to go ahead and full screen this page over here. And you just want to make sure that this option over here where it says full center makes the picture actually look good. Okay. So instead of full center, I'm going to do fill 100% width and see how that looks. I'm going to do some testing later on too, just to make sure that I have the lobster roll in the background exactly how I want it, because we do want the lobster roll and fries and beer centered, just like what we have here, right? So if this whole dark part is filled up, then we have the lobster roll in the middle, fries on the left, beer on the right. We want to do the same thing on our page as well. And then we want our background image opacity to be half fade. Now you can see that when we did a half fade, it turned lighter. And it's because our background color is white. We want to change this background color to black. And now you can see it's a black overlay. Okay. Now we're going to stick with half fade, but in the future we might change it to heavy fade because if we're on a darker background, the white font is going to stick out more. Okay. And you can see here that it's not going to make a huge difference in terms of the picture, but it does make a huge difference on the text. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to half fade first, and we're going to go ahead and save that option. So go ahead and click on save on the top right. If this pop-up or if this slide out comes out, go ahead and ignore that and just click on save anyway. Then go back to settings, and then we want to go to typography. Okay. So for the typography, remember we have all the fonts here listed out, right? These three were Open Sans condensed, and the paragraph was Special Elite, as you can see here on the right side. Okay, so for the headline font, instead of Montserrat, we're going to go ahead and put Open Sans. Whoops, that was not Open Sans. Okay, and I don't know if they have Open Sans condensed, but let's see what kind of Open Sans they have. Because Open Sans condensed is close enough, and that should be a good selection for now. So they don't have Open Sans condensed, they only have Open Sans. I'm going to select that for now. Okay, content font is not Lato, it's Special Elite, so I'm going to go ahead and choose Special Elite up here. And you want to do this here because these are the settings for the whole page. Okay, you don't usually, when people build pages, especially for the first time, you just start writing everything first and then you edit afterwards. I'm trying to help you create a foundation where you don't have to select different lines of font and change the font individually. Here we go, the link color. Remember, this link color is this Open Sans condensed 32 pixel 700 weight, and it's in this orange color over here. So we're going to grab this hex code, okay, for that. And then we're going to, instead of saying didn't find your color, add a custom one, we're going to do that. And we're going to put that hex code in there. We need to put the hashtag in front to make it show up. So make sure you have the hashtag in front. And then my custom color 37, we're going to name it link color. Okay, and then add color. So we have that there. Okay, so from now on, this color should show up for all of your color selections. Once you do that, we're going to go ahead and go to settings. And that should be it, actually, for the settings of this page. Okay, so I want to go ahead and click on save this. It says no sections found. So the one thing we need to do before we save is just add a quick section. So click on section. It could be on the top right of your page. If I full screen this, it will be near the top middle, actually. And you go ahead and just add section, add it full width, and then go ahead and click on save after that. Okay. Whenever you make a change, you'll see this save button, and you want to get used to saving often, by the way. You'll see that if you add a row, for example, and there's one column row, you'll see there's this blue dot on the top right of save, and that means there are changes that you made that haven't been saved yet. So you want to make sure that every time you see this blue dot, you want to click on save, and you want to get used to clicking on that save button as often as the blue dot comes up. If you don't do that often and you exit out of this editor, just like any other page editor, you will lose any of the changes before you saved. So I just added a row. And what we're going to try to do is add all these logos. Okay, so in order to add a logo, click on add element. And then in search, we're going to type in image. Okay, then we're going to click on image. And it says put your image. Now the settings for this is on the left side. Okay, and then I'm going to rename this image to logo. I'm going to scroll down. And then I'm going to go to this image option here where it says https://storage dot, and then click on this little image icon over here. That will allow me to change the image. Okay. Now, just like how we uploaded this lobster roll picture before, we're going to go ahead and upload another file, and we're going to go ahead and choose the logos. Clients, Steakhouse, branding, logos. We're going to go ahead and choose the logos that we want possibly on this page, okay? Because remember, what we're doing here is we're not going to put 6 logos on a live page, but we are going to put 6 logos on our one page that we're going to use for everything. And then from those 6 logos, we're going to choose one to use for that page. I'll show you what that looks like later, but basically we're creating one template page that we can use for everything. It's going to have all 6 logos. Once you duplicate that page for a specific purpose, you can delete 5 of the logos and leave one of them. I have most of the logos uploaded already, but make sure to upload all the logos that you had on your styling canvas sheet over here. Once you have them all uploaded, which I basically do over here, these 3, go ahead and start uploading. So I'll upload this white one. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on this copy button. So when you have this orange outline on the outline of your logo here, click on this orange copy button, this white copy button on top of the orange. Click on the second one. Click on the image icon on the left side over here again, where you see my mouse. And then you want to upload the next one, which I'm going to upload this gold colored one. Okay. Click on this clone one more time. And then we're going to change this image one more time. And then make this the black one. Okay. Now, one thing I like to do here, you see this logo is really, really big. So you want to change this width right here, just below the image file. You want to change this to 200. I think 200 is a really good size to put all of these logos at. And then you can adjust later based on the total look of your page afterwards. Okay, so now we have all 3 different types of logos. I know here we had 6 because some of these are square logos and some of these are rectangular logos. I know for these pages, for the most part, we are going to only use rectangular. So I'm going to stick to these 3 rectangular for now. Then I'm going to click the save button. Okay, and then just below this, I'm going to start putting the headlines, right? So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller here. And then I'm going to start putting heading 1. So remember, heading 1 is Open Sans condensed, 50 pixels, 700 weight. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we are going to click on this plus button just below this last logo. And we're going to add a headline right here. Okay. Now, one thing we didn't do that I just noticed is that we want all the fonts on this page to be white. Okay. So I'm going to go back to settings and then go to typography. And I'm going to change all the text colors to white. Now, this will change all the text on this page to white so that you don't have to change them individually later on. I'm going to click off this. Okay. Save. Settings. I want to exit this. I don't know why the X isn't showing. Here we go. Okay. And now that's our H1. Okay. Now remember, again, this is Open Sans condensed, 50 pixels, 700 weight. So we want to make sure it's bold. That's what 700 weight means. And we want to make sure that this is 50 pixels. In order to make this 50 pixels on the left side over here, you want to scroll up and down until you see mobile font size and desktop font size. So make both of these 50. Okay. And now on both mobile and desktop, this is going to be 50 pixels. Okay. Now you can see there's a small difference between this font here and this font on our canvas sheet is because this one on our canvas sheet is actually, let me show you side by side, is Open Sans condensed. So you can see it's a little bit skinnier versus this is regular Open Sans. And this is just something we're going to have to live with because we're limited by the fonts in the Guest Grow CRM. There is a way to upload custom fonts. I'll show you in a separate video if you have if you can't find any fonts within Guest Grow CRM that match your current one. I'll put that in a separate video and a link down below. Okay. So after heading 1, we're going to go ahead and make a copy of this. And this one, we're going to name heading 2, just like here. Okay. And this one, instead of an H1, we're going to put H2. Okay. And for H2, the size is 24 to 32 pixels, 700 weight. Okay. We already have the 700 weight as bold. That's what that means again. The mobile font size and desktop font size, we want it to be 32 pixels. Okay. So we're going to do that for now. Now remember, in the website that I took these design settings from, they had 24 to 32. I'm just going to use 32 for now, but keeping in mind that I may have to switch to 24 on other pages depending, right? Because remember, this is just a template page that we're creating. And then in the next section, when we actually do create the live pages, we're going to put all the copy in there and we're going to see how it looks. Make sure the attention of the viewer of the page is where we want it to be from our perspective and trying to theorize our perspective and then adjust as needed. Okay, so that's heading 2. Okay, we're going to make a copy of heading 2, and now we're going to make heading 3. Now for heading 3, this is going to be 18 to 22 pixels. So I'm going to name this heading 3, and this is going to be 22 pixels. Okay. Now, instead of doing another headline here, I'm going to click on this plus button, and I'm going to create a paragraph. Okay, and now you can see that this paragraph is actually the Special Elite font because we put the settings of the typography content font to be Special Elite. So the page already knows to set it as Special Elite. The only thing we need to do now is make sure the font size is correct. And so on the website that Rustic House had, they had it as 18 pixels normal. Okay, so you can see up here there's no bold, no italic, right? So that means the normal is correct. But in terms of font size, we want it to be 18. So I'm going to choose both mobile and desktop to be 18. And then I'm going to name this paragraph. Okay. You see how these two pages are looking very, very alike now, especially if I move this black overlay over. You see how it's super similar, the logos, the headings. Okay. Next, we want to create a button. So I'm going to click on this plus button down below. In this search bar on the top right, I'm going to type out button, click on button. And now this is a standard button that comes with Guest Grow CRM. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple changes to this button to make it look like this one. Okay. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background color. Okay. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the top of the left side here. And then instead of background color to be green, I'm going to make this orange color that we already saved from before. Okay. And then what I'm going to do here is on the text within the button, I'm going to name that as button and put it as all caps. So I'm going to scroll down until I get to the area where I can change the text within the button. Right here, text options, and it says text. Instead of click to sign up, I'm going to type button. Okay. Now again, the font on the left side you see here on Canva is Open Sans condensed, so it's skinnier. On the right side, it's Open Sans regular, so it's fatter. Okay. Also on this button, we do want to make it a curved button on the borders, like what you see there. What that is called over here is called border radius. Okay. So on this button, we want to scroll up until we see this border radius option. Let's go ahead and scroll down until we see something about the border. Okay, it could be in advanced. In this area over here where it says general and then themes and then advanced, go ahead and go to the advanced section. And then when it says border, we're going to do a full border. Okay, to open up all the border options. And then for border radius, we're just going to choose 10 pixels. And you can see that that rounded the button on the edges. Now, the one thing it has here, it says border color. So to omit this border color, we're going to choose that same color that we chose the button. So now it blends in. Okay, so that's the first button, right? Now, you can also see here that the space around the text is smaller on our Canva design versus over here, it's a little bit wider. In order to change this, and if you do want to change it in the future, I actually do the bigger spacing better on the right side. But if you do want to change this, you go back to general, and then you start changing and messing around with the padding and the margin, okay? So you see here it says padding top, padding bottom. Padding top means the space between the text and the edge of the button. And then margin means the space between the outside of the button and this outer orange thing right here, okay? So again, padding top is the space between the word button and the top of the actual button. So if I change that from 15 to 30, you can see now this space is bigger, right? So we're gonna leave that at 15. Same for the bottom, right? When you change that to 30, the bottom of the button word changes. The space between the bottom of button and the button edge changes. Same for left and right. Okay, so that's how you make those changes. And again, margin top and margin bottom. That changes the space between this actual button and what's above it and what's below the total button. So you can change that later if you want. I like the default of what Guest Grow CRM did for me over here, so I'm gonna leave that. Now for the other buttons, it's gonna be really easy, right? Because all we really need to do here is copy this button and then change the colors of the button. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this button. And for the next button, I'm gonna change the background, which is at the very top, to this tannish color that Rustic House had. And then I'm going to change the text to black. On the right side again, I'm going to go to this background color. And there's no tan color, so I need to grab this tan color from our design, which is over here. Double click to select, Control C for copy. And then over here, I'm going to click on didn't find your color, question mark, add custom one. And I'm going to name this like the rustic tan, for example. I'm going to paste this in. I'm going to add the hashtag in front. It's going to pull the color you see here. I'm going to go ahead and click on add color. Then that button background changes. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and try to find where I can change the color of the text. And it says color options here. Color, I'm going to change to black. And then just in case, subtext color, I'm also going to change to black. All right. Now you can see here there's a slight orange border on the left and right of the button. So I'm going to go into advanced. And then for the border color, I'm going to change that from the previous dark orange into the tan. So now the whole thing's tan. So that's our second button, right? Looks very, very similar. Make one more copy. Now instead, I'm going to make, starting from the top, I'm going to change the background to black. Okay? So now you see the whole button is black. In order to get the text to show, we need to make the text tan. So we're going to choose this rustic tan. Okay? There. And choose this rustic tan again here for subtext color. Then we're going to go to advanced, scroll down until border color is here, then change this to black. So now it's all black. Okay, looks exactly the same as this one. Cool. Now we're going to make the links. Okay, and so for the links, this is Open Sans condensed 32 pixel 700 weight. What we want to do, this is actually very similar to heading 2. Okay, so we're going to take heading 2, we're going to copy heading 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click on this all 4 arrows icon over here. We're going to hold this click and we're going to drag it down to just below the last button that you created. Okay. And instead of this white font, we're going to change this white font to, we're going to add a link to it. Okay. Because remember, we already set the link color. As you can see on the left side, this link text color says this dark orange. And that's exactly what we want. So in order to add a link, go to the very top of your page where it has this link icon over here. Click on link. And the way to add a link without adding a real link yet is just to type out the hashtag and go ahead and click on OK. Now you can see that this is actually a link. Okay. And I'm going to retype here. I'm going to name this link. And actually, I should have typed out link before. I need to click on this link again, put in the hashtag, press OK, and now we can see it's a link. Now remember, there's another link that we had, which is this special elite paragraph link over here. 22 pixels, special elite. So I'm going to copy this special elite text. I'm going to click on the 4 arrows button. I'm going to drag it all the way down before link. I'm going to type out link. And then I'm going to make it 22 pixels, right? So I'm going to make it 22 here, and then 22 here as well. Then I'm going to highlight the link, click on the hyperlink up above, type out this hashtag, and press OK. Okay. Now, this is what we have. Again, you want to click on save on the top right, make sure everything's all saved up and ready to go. Okay. And now, in order to just see the page by itself, how it would look on this side screen, click on this preview button. It's going to open up a new tab, and it's going to show you exactly what this looks like. Okay. Super similar, right? On the left side, we have the logos. Here are the 3 logos. We have the heading 1, heading 2, heading 3 paragraph. We have 3 buttons and 2 links. We have 3 buttons and 2 links. On this link, it shows a white text, and I'm not sure why it does that, but we can troubleshoot that later on the other pages that we actually make live, okay? The whole point of this lesson is to show you how to create a foundation of creating just one page and making this one page, being able to duplicate it so that we can create all of our pages with our styling already finished and just start typing away with the copy that we already created. All right. So now that you have this done, go ahead and click exit from this preview. Click on save one more time just in case. I like to double save sometimes just to make sure. Click on this back button. And now in your dashboard, you should see this page here. Okay. It won't show the exact preview, but what you can do is you can click on this box with the arrow pointing towards the top right of the box. It'll give you another preview, and that's how you make sure that your preview is saved. Okay. Go ahead and exit out of there. That's it for this lesson. I wanted to show you what it's like to make a page using the design we already have. The next lesson is going to be even cooler, where we're literally just going to duplicate this page. And then we're going to start putting in all of our copy from our on-ramp copywriting. So we're going to get our on-ramp content developer, and then we're going to start designing this sign-up page, right, our opt-in page. We're going to create the confirmation page, and that's it. Those are the 2 pages we're going to create so far. Okay, we're going to create these 2 out of this one. And the coolest thing, remember how I told you we're going to get return customers from this, from giving them offer after offer after offer. So now this one page is going to be the foundation for creating all of your pages for not only this offer, but future offers as well. Okay. Good job on doing this. Show me the links to your pages. I definitely want to see what results you got from creating your design on Canva and making live pages over here on Guest Grow CRM. Let me know if you have any questions on the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.